Hello everybody, welcome back to Cooking with Brenda and David. I got a really old one for you this time. My great grandmother made this pie and I'm thinking it's back during the Depression. That's what my mom was telling me. And I'm going to tell you something, I've looked this up on the internet and everything, there's not another one on there like this one. So let's hope it turns out. My mom gave me the recipe with what she could remember, so here we go. Now my beans are pintos.
What's this called?
It's a bean pie.
Okay.
Now I thought I told you it's a bean pie. Sorry I didn't think.
Bean pie.
Pinto bean pie. As a matter of fact, it's a pinto bean pie. And my pintos are cooked homemade. No fats, no
What's
salt.
that?
It's mashed up pinto beans.
Ew.
Ugh.
Okay.
Well, since you already know that, maybe I won't give you none. Anyhow, my mom gave me this, and I hope that she didn't forget any ingredients, but it does look 100% different than anybody else's.
Did she make it when y'all was kids, or do you remember? Or?
I don't remember if we ate it or not, but I do remember my great-grandmother. I do remember her, and I remember her cooking some things, or my family cooking things to help her because she was getting old and she had sugar. So some of her pies and things they made, she might not even been able to do, or they had to use saccharin or something like that to replace it. But you'll see what I mean. If you make these pies, you'll see what I mean by things being different. So I got 2 cups here of pinto beans that I cooked. Like I said, they didn't have no fats of any kind and no salt. I just cooked the beans until they were soft. I took out 2
Plain. Okay.
Yeah, soft enough to mash.
Yeah.
So I took out 2 cups, and after that I added some bacon grease and some salt to my beans, and let's let them simmer for about 15 minutes, and they were awesome too. So.
But that's not what that's got in it.
No, this don't. I told you, this is beans I cooked with no salt.
No nothing.
No fat.
Okay.
No kind of fats. No kind of fat meats. Okay, here we go. It's got 3 cups of sugar.
Good gosh.
I know, ain't that the truth?
That's a lot of sugar.
It's a whole lot of sugar. Okay, it's got 2 sticks of butter melted.
Just regular butter?
Or margarine, whatever you want, but butter would be best. Butter's always better. You get me mixed up. There's 2 sticks of butter or margarine. There's 4 eggs just all mixed up. Just the eggs, no milk or nothing in it. There's a cup of chopped nuts. Any kind of nuts you want. It's whatever you want to have. There's 2 teaspoons. Uh-oh, that ain't a teaspoon. Those Tupperware ones will go like a teaspoon and a half and a tablespoon. There's 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Pure vanilla is always better. If you can't afford it, just vanilla flavor and whatever you want to get. If you don't want to use vanilla, use whatever you want.
Let's see that bottle.
2 teaspoons. It's reduced.
Huh.
What's wrong with it?
Nothing. I was just wondering what it was.
It's imitation vanilla, but it was reduced for some reason. It was $4.29, so it don't matter as long as it's reduced. I don't care. I'll take it. There's a tablespoon of cornstarch. I was wondering why it didn't have no flour in it. Then I was looking at my paper and I said, that's why. It's got cornstarch in it.
Mm-hmm.
Not any one of them has cornstarch. Not many of them uses pintos. It's going to be better because it's got home cooked pintos. Now here you go for the last ingredient. The last ingredient is, let me see how
She just gave you that recipe the other day, wasn't it?
Yeah, on the phone. The last ingredient
your mom
is,
did, I mean.
My mom, 1 cup of coconut.
Oh, the old coconut again.
The coconut again. I love coconut, but I have nobody else's recipe that I see this. And I've watched 5 or 6 of them on, and I'm like, I just can't believe it. I wonder if she gave me the right thing. So here's what we're going to do.
We'll find out.
We're going to find out. This should be enough for 3 pies, but we're making 2 tonight. And if there is some left, I'll refrigerate and make it when I make my next one, or I'll freeze it. My coconut goes up there. I'm going to have to get some soon. I probably got more in there. I done gave them a little bit of a baking. They're not dark, and I don't want them to be dark.
What'd you do to them?
I pre-baked them a little bit.
You stuck them in the oven for a couple minutes or something?
Yeah, on 450, and now I done turned it down 350. I'm going to cook them an hour on 350 when I get this in there. Hopefully it'll turn out right. It will. How could it not?
Had a blender, it might work better,
I
but
don't want it in that blender. I want to make it like this. Back then they probably didn't have a blender.
no.
I'm not kidding you. This grandmother that I'm talking about, my great-grandmother, my mom and them called them Ma and Pa. So Ma, she had the most beautiful, one thing I remember about her, she had the prettiest orchard that I've ever seen. And they done a lot of canning and a lot of apple pie making and stuff like that.
Is that your mom's?
My mother's grandmother.
Yeah.
My mother had 2 grandmothers, just like we do.
Yeah.
Remember, it's the grandmother on my great-grandmother on my mama's side. How about that?
So she had a beautiful orchard.
Oh, yes. I love that thing, too. And I told my mom I will always remember that orchard that she had. Something that my mama told me about, it's a plum. It's a green plum. Green gages. They were called green gages. I thought, what in the world are green gages? And then when I seen them, I looked them up, and when I seen them, I'm like, I remember them being in that orchard. And she planted every kind of apple tree that would grow in this region, and any kind of fruit that was just a pretty. She had several different kinds of pears, apples, peaches, plums, whatever she could grow in that orchard, she had in there. Well, that don't look half bad, David Hall. That mixture don't. Make sure them beans. No, there's a clump of beans that's got to get
Matter of
mixed up
opinion.
there. Matter of opinion. Take your big bite.
No way.
Them raw eggs.
That makes me want to puke.
Makes you want to puke. Well, to me, that makes me sick that you want to puke
I'm just
because
kidding.
it's food.
I'm just kidding.
I hope
It
you
does
like
look kind of
so
gross, though.
It seems like I feel a hair on me, but I don't see one.
It does look kind of gross.
It's not gross, but probably I want to make sure that.
This is the first time you ever made this, though.
It's
Yeah.
the first time I've ever made
Yeah.
it, but it seems like I remember eating it.
Back when you was a kid or
Yeah,
something.
there's another pie I'm going to make too that she made. There's 2 things. One of them, I'll go ahead and tell you, one of them's a bread pudding, and my mom gave me that recipe too, so let's hope it's right also. My mom's starting to forget things, but she's got heart disease, and she's got a bad COPD, and she retains fluid because there's a flap right there somewhere between her heart and her lungs or something, and they can't fix it because of her heart disease. It's just too bad they can't do surgery on her. So she gets congestive heart failure a lot, pneumonia, bronchitis, that kind of thing, a whole lot.
Well, she probably remembers everything about that. About this thing.
I even mash these beans up with an old potato masher. I keep that kind of stuff around all the time. That's easy than pulling out that mixer and stuff.
Yeah.
One of these days I'm going to be able to have my mixer and stuff sitting out in my blender. I can get to the blender pretty easy, but I just decided to do it this way. If y'all heard my little girl talking to y'all, my babies. She's hollering in there about something. The other 2 come in the door. I heard them hollering. They come in the door and went to bed. Straight to bed. Probably Daddy's bed. They love it in his room for some reason. And all I gotta do is say spaz, and he'll jump down and run to mine or wherever he wants to go sleep at. They're all good kitties except baby. She's a little demon, and I'm telling you she is. She's not a solid black cat, but she's beautiful.
She protects you though.
She protects me, but she'll also be mean to me.
Chases deer.
Yeah, the other day there was like 5 or 6 deer in the bottom yard, and I was walking the cats. I walk the cats in my yard. I walk them. It's a good long ways, and it's got an up incline that works for my knees and stuff
As
too.
soon as she seen a deer, she'd chase after it.
Well, there was about, it might have been 7. I don't know. It was a bunch of them, and she seen them, and she started growling and taking off after them, and they flew out the yard, and I'm like, babies, you are really something else. Well, here's what I'm going to do, because this could be a little hard to do.
You want me to do it?
No, you'll see what I'm going to do. I'll show you what I'm going to do. I don't want them to drag on the floor.
I'll help you if you want me to.
But you'll see what I'm going to do. You'll see. Because you see how liquidy that is?
Yeah.
Okay. There's something that you should do to do this easier with, maybe. Those are good and cool, but I did cook them some in here. I just don't want them too brown.
Well, you just kind of toasted them up just a little bit for some reason.
Yeah, you're supposed to cook them up a little bit, but I don't like mine hard and brown at all. You know what would be real good? Never mind. Just pour it in there. Whoa, Nellie, whoa.
You want me to help you?
That one's just back in there. So
Yeah, I know. You want me to help?
I mean, I might be able to get it because the bowl won't have much in it now. It ain't gonna be 3 pies. Where'd she get 3 at? She told me it'd make 3 pies. Well, I'm glad I didn't need 3 pie shells out to defrost. Yeah, I think that looks great myself. Don't have no flour in it, but the cornstarch should thicken it. Unless she forgot to tell me something, it should be right. Cornstarch is a thickener, David. You don't, if you're making gravy and you got too much milk, a lot of times when you add flour, it can clump. And a lot of times it will if you don't use a whisk. Well, cornstarch will do okay, but it doesn't have any kind of really much of a flavor to it. It don't have no kind of salt or nothing in it. But it is a good thickener. Okay, we're going to just see what happens here. We got to do this for about an hour on 350.
Okay.
No, wait a minute. There's something. I was looking at something, and I learned something today, and I want to I think it's the Hillbilly Kitchen. She showed me how to make a hood for the pies. I don't like them crusts to get too dark. One of these days, I'm going to figure out how to get a sugar crust on that rim. That's what I want, even if it's Splenda. You can put that over top of your pie as a tint.
You got 2 cups of sugar in it already.
It does have 3 cups. But what I'm doing here is I'm making a rim.
You're making like a tent or something?
Yeah, a tent. I seen another one, but I didn't have no foil pans that I could do it. I seen 2 different ways, and I said, well, I'll use that foil and make it so it won't brown too much, too quick. I don't like it hard and brown. There you go. I said you could use a Splenda rim. You could douse it down for a little bit of water maybe and use a Splenda rim. I experiment all the time, so I probably will experiment that too. I like to make that thing taste good. In other words, the rim. I don't think it tastes good. Well, there we go until it gets done. What time is it, honey? I could set the timer here.
10 o'clock. It's done got late.
Huh?
It's done got late. It's 10 o'clock.
Well, that's okay. We'll get it out at 11.
Okay. So we'll check back in.
Yep, we'll check back with you at 11, folks. Okay, I'm sure it's done. It's been about an hour and 10 minutes. We're going to check and see. I took these off after about 45 minutes of cooking, and I've checked in on it. Oh, yeah, I think they look good. Let's go ahead and turn this oven up. They look good. Looks real good. I had to give them like an extra 10 to 15 minutes.
Smells pretty good.
And I use these covers the way that I think it was on the Hillbilly Kitchen. I was watching some of her things. She's a really good cook too. And let me see if I can get these off of here without dropping them in the floor.
You want me to do it?
The thing is that they're slick and you gotta be careful.
Looks slick.
But it's easier to deal with them on this cookie sheet. Ooh, they look real good.
They're going to slide off.
Yeah, I'm going to slide it back more. Ooh, don't they look good and beautiful?
It smells good.
It smells good. You can hear them still cooking or something.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, I got the hiccups. They're still cooking.
You like Aunt Bee been into cooking, Sherry?
No, it's hiccups. I'm getting ready to do this pack of Splenda. You can use sugar. It works really well. Teaspoon of sugar.
Well,
see if that'll work. Boy, aren't those pretty? They're really pretty.
they definitely look better coming out than they did going in.
I might not let you have none if they're good. I can't remember. I don't know if I should cut it now or let it have time or.
I don't know. Did she tell you?
Well, any pie's better if you give it time to set and rest. It needs to rest a little bit.
Well.
Oh, you think?
There's my.
You got your plate ready,
There's
huh?
my old plate.
Ouch, that thing's hot. Okay, let's see, David. See
Found up her mom's laying in the mud. Bought it down and washed it. It's kind of cool looking though.
It is cool looking, but it wasn't in the mud.
It probably was.
David, I don't think we're going to be able to get this out until it cools. You know, some things are better.
Let's just try a little piece and see what, just to see what the taste is, and then we'll let it cool, and it'll probably be better after it cools anyway.
Well, let me
We'll just take a little small, tiny piece. I probably might not like it anyway.
You know, it's like a custard pie. I wonder how all of it's so beautiful, except this one edge.
I don't know. It just got warm right there, probably.
I don't know. I had that tent over it.
Well, the other one ain't like that.
It's going to tie all the pieces trying to get you a little bit out.
We'll just take a spoon and just
It's got to set. I mean, it's got to set or it's going to look like puke, like you said.
Yeah. I'll try it. I'll just put that back for now. Is it hot?
Probably. It came out of the oven and messed it up. Look how ugly it is now.
It's too hot.
It's going to be good though. It's going to be real good.
It ain't bad.
It ain't bad at all.
Huh?
I can definitely taste those nuts in there. I think they say they compare it to something called a chestnut pie. Look what I got. Once this sets, you'll be able to cut it real good. So I need to cover them up real good, let them cool and set. They'll be real good. I can get that piece out really good then. Look what he did to my pie. Now it's ugly.
That's good.
Well,
that's good. I dropped some up on the floor. Them ants will get that.
That one piece of mine. Here, you want to?
That is good. That's a whole lot better than I thought it was going to be. Dang, that is good.
Here.
No kidding. It burn you?
Huh. Woo!
Mmm.
Thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
It is really good. Real good. Well,
I thought that was going to be nasty, but that is good.
I need to tell them what I put in it.
I'm not much of a cake eater or nothing like that, but it's good.
Tell them what I put in it?
Yeah.
You sure I did?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
Well, they are good, everybody. And I want to thank everybody for watching. And if you try this, let us know what you think, of course. To us, it's really good.
Yeah, it is
My
good.
great-grandmother's, and I'm sure it was during the Depression, so...
I'm sure it was.
This one's not like any of them that I've seen. The one my mom gave me is not like any of them that I've seen on the internet, so I'm hoping that it's going to turn out really, really good. So we'll let you know more about this, and if y'all try it, you let us know what you think. How about that?
All right.
Okay, we'll see you soon. Bye.